welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. Today, the 18th day of April 2025. Good Friday, everyone. Our viewers around the world. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening. Progressively, we have gotten to April to 18th and headed towards Easter, and the year is just fast moving on. So, I just jumped in this Friday, which, we are already in the holiday mood, but there is so much circulating around, which I believe I need to share with our people. And talking about what is actually going on right now, so I believe that the issue of the parley that was called by Nyesom Wike, the Rivers State matter, is really something I want us to have a little bit of discussion on, because he went ahead in that very parley to label His Excellency P2B as a social media candidate. So I want us to for us to deliberate in a little bit of this and listen to some of the things he said, some of the actions that he took in Rivers State that, that he has come out to be clear to everybody that he wanted Fubara outrightly removed from office. Very, very clear on a national television. So I'll be bringing that shortly, but let me just tell you about governance that is really under scrutiny in Rivers State. The situation where Governor Fubara was suspended raises questions about the consistency of decision-making in Nigerians' governance. We need to understand this. This move might be perceived as unusual, especially when compared to other states with similar or more severe security challenges like Plateau, Benue, that, there's a lot of people being killed of recent. Now, even Enugu as well. Now, in Plateau, recent killings by herdsmen resulted in over 100 and something days so far recorded, yet the state governor wasn't suspended. Similarly, in Enugu State, farmers were killed in their numbers, but there has been no such action against the governor. But here we see where Wike came out to say that it's not about Tinubu, that Tinubu is even a peacemaker, that he is the one who sought for outright removal of Fubara, and Nigerians are listening. Rivers State people are listening without reaction. But some argue that Bola Tinubu's action might be influenced by preconceptions or external factors such as alleged relationship between Nyesom Wike and Tinubu. Now, this perceived bias could lead in questions about the fairness and consistency of governance. Nigeria's complex political landscape might play a role in these decisions, with various stakeholders and the interest groups influencing governance. Each state's unique circumstances, including security challenges, governance structures, they all might require tailored approach. Chief Bola Tinubu's response to these incidents has sparked concerns, and it has to deal with accountability and transparency. It is essential for Chief Bola Tinubu to maintain consistency in their decision-making across different states and ensure accountability for the actions taken. Providing transparency in governance and decision-making process can help build trust and stability in Nigeria's political landscape. Let me quickly take you to what Wike said and how he said it in a live television interview that he outrightly wants Fubara to be removed from the office, and boasting that Fubara will not come back again. And of course, I will come back to talk more about what he discussed about forgiveness when the question of a prodigal son comes up. But first, let's start where he said that he outrightly wants him removed from the office, and he's very proud of it. Let's take a listen.
To this issue of the state of emergency declared by the president in your home state, Rivers State, you haven't quite said anything since that state of emergency was declared. But quite a number of people, including the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, has come out to say that the president's declaration was unconstitutional. Politically speaking, though, there are those who say that you might be unhappy because it does appear that since the Supreme Court judgment, members of the State House of Assembly who, have stayed, let's say, loyal to you, were gearing up to impeach the governor. And some people have said, politically speaking, perhaps that was a move to, save the situation in Rivers State. What exactly is your own permutation and your thinking since the state of emergency was declared in your state?
Margaret, do you want me to tell you the truth?
I'm listening.
As a politician, I'm not happy. I wanted outright removal of the governor. As a politician, I'm not happy. But for the interest of the state, the president did the right thing.
As a lawyer?
No, I'm coming. Already the matter is in court. But people must say the truth. The governor was gone. He was gone. Yes, he was gone. So when people say, President did this, I say, look, if that's where they should be worshiping, they should be worshiping Mr. President. Every morning go to the President, can we wash your feet for serving us? How? Mind you, Supreme Court has said, no money can go to local government when it's not democratically elected. Mind you, Supreme Court has said, nobody will go to the state without appropriation. In that situation, there was crisis. All institutions will be shut down. Health will be crisis. Education will be crisis. It is not in my place to make it good for the governor.
What about your state?
And that's what I'm saying as a politician. It is not in my place to make the governor to be happy. It's not me. My business is not to make him comfortable. And that's why there's power play.
It's part of the role you play.
Now, the point I'm trying to make, Mr. President came in and saved the situation, saved the vast people of that calamity, of that anarchy.
Oh, so you knew it was going to cause calamity if the governor was impeached?
What calamity? That the governor is removed? Was it a coup? The Constitution provides that if there's an infraction of the Constitution, that you can be impeached. I don't know people who are working towards today for the president not to go back for second term. Is it a crime? If they had their way to impeach Mr. President in National Assembly, would they do it? You think that they are comfortable to stop to 2 years? Who told you that? I never told anybody that I'm a pastor or a imam. It's a power gate. But any people must face the reality. The governor cannot think that, this and that, if governor is removed, this will happen. What will happen?
Yes, but I've asked you
so
that.
So the point I'm making is that President saved the situation. And that's what they didn't understand when Attorney General said that they should even thank Mr. President for serving them.
A lot of people have accused Mr. President as bias, saying that you would have been suspended.
Yes. Suspended for doing what?
Yes, that you have been suspended as a minister.
Leg of the problem. Also one leg of the problem.
Agent for
listen now, we're not listening. What's the problem? I don't know what's the problem for president.
I instigated.
Hold on. Are you not hearing coalition? What's the essence of coalition? To make sure the president does not return. Are they making president to sleep every day? Has anybody killed anybody? Is president finding his heart to say, he's the right one to be now. He's also working by delivering the dividend of democracy to the best of his ability. He's not going to sleep. Mr. President has a good relationship with the National Assembly. For Christ's sake.
Your Excellency.
Okay,
hold on.
A moment.
You see, I have told you here, governance is not about awarding contracts. It's not only about awarding contracts. Governance is not only about inspecting project, commissioning project. your capacity, ability to navigate is key. If as a governor, you have crisis, you don't know how to navigate, to put your people in check to make sure you are calm, your governor is going through. I suffered it. The powers that be at the national level didn't want me to survive. Did I go to church to cry? Did I go to mosque to cry? I came back, I sat down, I said, listen, we have problem. How do we do? We have to navigate this. How do I navigate it? Okay, all right. Let me finish. So that give people the opportunity to hear from us. So this attitude of the governor, if it's removed of the crisis, the Constitution provided for it. And therefore, you must also be careful. The kind of infraction. Look at what Supreme Court said. Am I the one? That you are ruling as a despot.
But at least we have heard from Wike. But what measures will be taken for transparency and accountability to happen in this River State and the decisions of the government is another thing. But go to comment section, tell us what you think about what Wike is talking about, outright removal. And again, I want us to think in the direction of this media palace, so to speak. Because if you notice, all the prominent channels, I mean, I'm talking about mainstream media are there. Do you think that Nyesom Wike did not spend money to have this very media palace? Which governor in Nigeria does this kind of media palace? Which we know he started from River State. And now that it's in Abuja, I want you to also check, as far as ministers are concerned, how many ministers have the power to pull these channels, Arise, not Arise, the other media, all of them, they were all there. His patronage, NTA and co. I mean, he spent a whole lot of money, AIT, and so many other media outlets. How much do you think he invested in all of this? They are asking good questions, don't get me wrong. They are absolutely doing their job when they get to that very place. But I just want you to note that he spends a whole lot of money and the media protects them. They only say, they come out to say what they expect the people to hear. But the people who are coming online are said to be the people who are really not coming out with good news. That is by the way. But there's another one I want to let us understand that is very painful again, painfully, speaking. In this same briefing, Wike dismissed P2B's candidacy as unrealistic. We're talking about both 2023 and moving up to 2027, describing him as a social media candidate, sincerely. Really? Can we, go to the comment section and, say your take of this very thing. Do you think that P2B is that, for him to call P2B a social media candidate, that he lacks the political structure to win an election, that he has no chance at all of winning the election? And he proudly said that he don't engage with people like this kind of social media candidates. It is really, a figure as him, people that has been respected. Huh? Let me quote him. He said, I analyze candidate who is likely to win. And that is the role of a politician. He said, in politics, this is not about who is the best candidate. So many factors come into play in Nigeria. So it is not about who is the best candidate or who is suited for the nation. It's about the politicking. He says this thing often and on. And for us, what do? It's all about politics for them. If you hear him, he keeps saying it is all about politics. Let's take another part of this very interview that might interest you. Let's take a listen.
Was implemented.
So who is the sole administrator accountable to? That's what people
That is why it is called emergency rule. Which I told you, as a politician, I'm not happy. But to solve the situation, and that's where the president came in. And that's why those who know should now know that let's take this opportunity and say, look, I know this is the problem. Can you do this? Can you do this? You must make sacrifice.
Okay. Some will say,
if you are
talking of those who know, shouldn't that include you?
It's not only coming out
shouldn't that include
national
you?
television.
Yes, Your Excellency, some will say,
no.
Some will say, Your Excellency, that you, more than anybody else, should be the one also mediating this peace process. Simply because this is just less than a year after you left office. This is the legacy. As in, the governor was your man, the House of Assembly members are your people. So one would say you are even more of a stakeholder in making sure that this process of peace gets to fruition.
Now, let me tell you. But the same assembly people listen to me. It's not correct. But the government didn't listen to me.
Just see him as a stubborn son and then bring him.
No problem. Now, let me tell you something.
Have you heard the parable of the prodigal son?
Let me tell you.
The father left those who listened to him and went in search of that only one that didn't listen to him.
No, that's not the prodigal son, no. That's not correct. When a prodigal son comes back and pleads, I said, look, forgive me. I've made a mistake. I want us to move forward. You are human. You are human. But in sincerity, let me tell you, 2 governors under APC reached me with an influential person from outside the state. 2 governors under APC. Right? Came to talk to me. And I said, look, I'm not the governor. I'm FCT minister. There was a gang up against me here. And I knew there was a gang up. I had to put some structures on ground to see that there's peace. That I do my work. I don't need to allow enemies to capitalize on 1 or 2 things. Who will suffer is the administration of the president, who has confidence and put me in this place. So I don't need to begin to give excuse. You are a governor. You have a problem. That's why I said governance is not only restricted to award of contract and commission of project. It takes beyond that.
If Fubara calls you today, will you pick his call?
These 2, I said these 2 governors came to me. And I said, look, I'm here for peace. What does he want? What does he want? And they said, look, we'll do everything to make it. I said, in sincerity, if anybody comes there, they say, look, you want it, but it must be in sincerity. Let me tell you, I've been in this system, I've been in government. I know game politicians play. Politicians buy time. The best opportunity was when president intervened. The day president intervened, the assembly people went immediately and withdrew the impeachment notice. You heard what happened. Some elders came up. President has no power. What did they was political? They went to court. They went to court. A lot of suits were instigated. Where did it lead us to now? Who is on suspension? Is it me? I mean, you must use wisdom. A whole president of a country called you, whether he was right or he was wrong, at least at that level. That's okay. Let me stomach. Let me listen to him. And you play your own part. Let the people not play their own part. Mr. President, he has played his part. These people are saying, look, do you understand what it takes? For 16 months, you seize people's salary. They don't pay their children's school fees. Most of us are just talking. Do you know what it takes? Let me ask all of you here, that your children are at home. Why? There's no money to pay their school fees. Why? Somebody has stopped my salary for 16 good months.
Your Excellency.
So, and nobody appears to take that into consideration.
So,
the pains. And I expected that somebody should say, look, this thing should end. Let me go. Sir, man, we can't continue this way. Let's sit down and talk on the table. All this arrogance of going to national channels, arise to abuse anybody. You are here, they say I'm dead. They flew me out. All those things will not give you the peace. You carry coffin. Wike is dead. It's not my business. If people who have heard, who really understand what it is, should say, look, we have done this for how many years now? What have we achieved? Can there be peace? Rather, they try to make sure the problem does not end. They make money.
Two quick questions, because we're already about to move to the FCT. I wanted to ask you, first, you have said that you are open to forgiveness if the governor should come to you for forgiveness.
So if you notice, Wike concluded by acknowledging that Chief Bola Tinubu's mastery of political tactics, saying that that's how you know that some people are successful. Well, go to the comment section and please do tell us what you feel about this whole thing, because Rivers State that we keep talking about, I mean, seeing Fubara and his Oga did so much wrong to millions of Nigerians. But at the same time, we have to look at the impact, especially now that they're in sole administratorship distance. What is the direction in terms of transparency and accountability? And when we come to talking about all this problem, we always talk about that there's a solution. A solution awaits Nigeria in 2027 as far as the presidency is concerned. And what are we doing about it? Well, what we are doing is that we have decided to join and collaborate with Mandate 4 team to, reach out to Nigerians to actually put in place a proper packaged, voting cycle where when you vote, you immediately see your vote on IREV reflecting. That is a proposal that has already been submitted to the National Assembly. Not just electoral reform, the Electoral Act reform, but also it has some constitution amendment issues. You can only get this when you click on the link that is in the comment section of this very video, or even a description of this video, to get the Mandate 4 petition signed. We expect that Nigerians will embrace this very opportunity, this window of opportunity for us to create a change in Nigeria. So we can be talking about the problems in Nigeria, Wike, this person, Enugu State, Plateau State, Benue State, and all of that. But we must face the fact the solutions are here. Let's take a listen to Century Favor, who is one of the founders of the Mandate 4, to tell us about one or two things that Mandate 4 is doing as far as calling for everybody to sign up petitions for an electoral reform and constitutional issues. Let's take a listen.
You are tired. I too am tired. You've shown up. You've voted. You've done your part. And what happened? It felt like it didn't matter. And now you're asking yourself, why bother? Why should I care? What difference does it make? I'm not here to sugarcoat it. The system is broken. But if we give up now, we'll leave our future in the hands of those who broke it. That's why I'm asking you to join me. Join other Nigerians in the Fix INEC Fix Nigeria campaign. At Mandate 4, we have a project, 2027 is currently ongoing. In that project, we have a campaign called Fix INEC Fix Nigeria. And what we've done is that we've created tools, reports, resources, and everything you need to take action. Will you act? The choice is yours, and the future is ours. Visit mandate4.org/FixINEC to learn how your little voice, your little light can spark change.
Yes, so my people, it's just straightforward. Outside of the talk, we always tell you that there's a solution, and the solution is in our front. So go to Mandate 4 and, of course, click on the link there to sign up for the petition for Fix INEC, Fix Nigeria. Because for us to have a credible leadership, not the one that somebody will call up a parley and then be frying his hands anyhow and all that, is where, because if people actually elected leaders into office, it means that they will be accountable, there will be transparency. I mean, they will fear the people. But nobody is afraid of anybody. Nobody in power today is afraid of Nigerian people. As a matter of fact, Tinubu is not afraid of the Nigerian people. The governors are not afraid of the people from their state. And also, the local government, or even your state representative, they are not afraid of you. Then what? If they are not afraid of you, it means you don't want nothing to them. So, I am calling on all Nigerians, wherever they are, to actually take this opportunity, this window of opportunity, to sign the petition of Mandate 4 by clicking the link on this very video. Either on the description, you see it on the, and also on the place where you chat. So like and share. If you're a new viewer, please subscribe. This is Active Citizens Parliament, and we keep coming out every day to do what? To evangelize, to tell our people that there is hope. And that very hope is not too far off. Even when we talk about 2027, it's just here. Tinubu has started this campaign, but we need to be wiser this time. And this time, it is for us to do the right thing. Electoral reform is needed, and that talk is just around the corner at the National Assembly. Until we take the action now, then we can see what will happen from the National Assembly as we proceed. Thank you very much for listening. And until we come back, please like and share and sign the petition. Thank you very much. Bye for now.